Maricel is the founder of the Parenting Emporium, an empowered mom and a businesswoman. She continues to positively impact the lives of first-time and long-time parents alike in providing them with support by helping them become the best parents they can be.
Hi guys, and welcome to another episode of In Love With Me, where we feature inspiring individuals who will share their amazing stories. I am your host, Mafae Velasco, and for this series, our topic is being empowered during quarantine. For this episode, we have an empowered woman and co-founder of the Parenting Emporium to motivate us and to take action. So without further ado, let's welcome the beautiful and amazing Maricel Cua. Hi, Maricel.
Hi, I love the introduction. Thank you so much.
Yeah, I saw your smile get bigger and bigger and bigger. I'm glad that you enjoyed that. My team and of course the family have put a lot of efforts because you have been such a supporting woman in our family's lives, from baby after baby. I didn't realize after meeting you that I'll have more. But, I want to thank you for that because you have been such an inspiration to a lot of women and families, of course, even more during this time. But before I ask you what you've been up to during this lockdown and quarantine, can you please share with everyone on how you became the empowered woman that you are today?
How did I become the empowered woman? I think basically I have to trace that all the way back to my mom, because I think most of the role model is really your mom. And with her, I remember saying as well in another talk, we lead very different lives. We turn out to be quite opposites of each other. But I think what the core is there, which I got from her, is the fact that she always stood by what she believed in, and she never really, even if she was what people would call a plain housewife, there's so much actually power in housewives, and she showed me that. She showed me that you define who you are, and in whatever role you decide to take on, your strength really shows through, in what you do, in what you choose to do, what you stand by. And she was a big influence, I would say, in who I am, or the woman I am right now. My sister and I actually turned out to be quite the opposite, in the sense that we did not become the domestic divas we wanted to be. But I would say, in principle, we are very much like our mom, in which we stand by our family, we stand by our beliefs, and we never let another person dictate what we know to be right. So I really take that all the way back to my mom. And then growing up, she is my best friend. So growing up, she would really continue to, how it is with parents that reach a certain age in which you become more of a coach, counselor, more than like a, parent. So since she's my best friend, I would tell her all the stories, and through that, she would still be able to counsel or coach me, and guide my actions. So now she's a bit more advanced in years, but I still find myself still telling her stories, even if somehow, she can't relate anymore to the world that we live in, which is really too fast sometimes. So in a sense, I know I'm really jumping the gun here, but in a sense, this quarantine situation has a good effect, that it has taught us really to slow down in a lot of ways.
Yes. Totally, I agree. So let's talk about how you began your amazing company, co-founded with the amazing Bang. Also, how did that start?
Okay, so I had 2 years ahead of Ben having a child. And basically, when I had my child, shall I date myself? Okay. Well, my daughter's a teenager now, so fine. 14 years ago, when I had my first child, please don't do the math in your head. But 14 years ago, there really was no support like the support that's available now. And basically, I really had to learn a lot of things the hard way. Reading as well. So that was out of the picture. And of course, my mom is my guide, and my experience as well with my sister who married young, and I had experience taking care of her children as well when they were growing up. So because of the 2 years that I had ahead of Beng, when it was her time, she loves telling this story about how I prepared an Excel sheet for her. I can't even remember that Excel file that I gave her. She said that I did prepare this list of things, and I went over it, and I was always checking on her. And, you know, because as best friends, though you don't want to impose what exactly you do or what you did, but you kind of want to be there, and you're so excited to share that same experience. And just be there for even sometimes just to listen if you have a different setup or situation. So after that, so when it was her time, and breastfeeding is one of those things, one of those journeys in parenting, which I really believe you should never go it alone. So with her, she also experienced a lot of difficulties, and I was there for her, and I shared stuff with her. Even the pump that I used, which was very efficient for me. And it turned out that she had the opportunity to actually carry that pump here in the Philippines. So that's where it all started, because both of us, she's like, you know, we actually both believe in the same thing, that breastfeeding can be very successful at expressing if you have another person there. You know, you just don't buy the pump off the shelf, but you actually have another person there to support you and walk you through a lot of things, including like breast pumping. We don't believe that you should go that route alone as well, because so many things can go wrong. I mean, a pump is a gadget, so to have somebody there to guide you, it's really helpful. So that happened, and for a couple of years we were doing that. And then basically a community of women grew around us, and it reached a point in which people were becoming active online, and were looking for communities. There was a couple of communities, but women who who that eventually became our friends through what we were doing, sort of egged us into becoming a little bit more high profile and more vocal about how we support our fellow parents. So that's how the Parenting Emporium was born. Because honestly, well, you know this because you're a very good friend of mine, practically family. You know that I am not the type, you know, who's, you know, sobrang high profile or would enjoy being in the limelight or whatever. And Beng also is the same way. And we are really very private people, but we really had to pray over it and decide, should we heed this calling to set up a community which we would really advocate respectful parenthood shared, no imposition, just support really. That really it all centers around respect, and set up a community which is what I always like saying, sort of chop suey, because we support a segment in society that has so many roles. The parents usually take care of their older parents, but they also take care of the youngest members of society. So then they have their companies, then they have their advocacies. They have so many roles. They juggle so many things. But then who supports them, right? So that's why we decided to set up the Parenting Emporium. And there's no really set formula to what we do, because it depends as well on what parents need at a certain time. And we're not talking about the general population, but sometimes times also the very specific parents or families that approach us have certain concerns. So that's how the Parenting Emporium basically came into being.
And that's the thing, you know, it's such a welcoming home for everyone, all new parents, or like what it was said in the voiceover, people that just want to have a refresh button on knowing the new gadgets or the new essentials for having kids. You have it all. You have from baby needs, mommy needs. I know there's vitamins, oils, and everything there. And every time I walk inside the Parenting Emporium, I feel like I'm at home, you know, not because, of course, I love you and Ben, but, you know, I see your relationship with every single person that walks in or gets to know you, you know. That's why I love sharing you guys, because when I get so excited when my friends get pregnant or, you know, just need something in the parenting information environment, I would always say, go to TPE, go to Parenting Emporium. Here's Maricel's number. She's okay for you to text her anytime. I think just recently I even shared you with a friend in Cebu. So, you know, and you were able to cater to them. So that's what I love about that. You know, I know being a parent yourself is also a challenging, you know, place to be in. So how do you motivate yourself on taking care of your own family as well as everybody else's family?
Well, at the start, you know, I have to be very honest because I don't want people to listen to me and think that she's perfect, because very far from being perfect. So really, it was a struggle for me and Ben as we grew into our roles, and we had very stressful times in which we couldn't balance things, and we relied a lot on the understanding of our fantastic family who understood everything that we were going through. Then eventually we sort of got into, I think it's really all stages. But so from really putting our 100% into the community and having very understanding family members to being able to pull back a bit and slowly see how we can take care of the community, other parents, and our own family at the same time. To now, for us, there's more of a balance. And I think as well that it's because of fantastic people in our team. You know, I don't know, I keep on telling people I'm so emotional this quarantine. Maybe it's because yung there's a cut, there's a sort of distancing because there's no physical contact. But naiyak tuloy ako just thinking of our team, because honestly, it makes us so happy every time we hear other people, because when we take on people, that's also a whole process. But when we take on people, we always tell them that we are not TPE. All of us are. So we're counting on you guys to assimilate the culture. Although you're working, let's say, in the back room, but the moment you're there and mommy comes in or daddy comes in needing help, you will be able to, you know, show them the warmth that all the frontliners are also showing and stuff. And you know, we've reached a point in which each of the Parenting Emporium team, whether they work in front of the customers or in the back room or whatever, we really hear such positive feedback from outsiders telling us that, you know, they really feel cared for. They really feel the sincerity. They feel like they're just talking to a friend and asking for favors from the friend, instead of, like, you know, talking to a customer service person or talking to a salesperson or whatever. And it's because of this team that Ben and I are also able to be parents, because they really reached a point, and I will not deny this, that Ben and I were like, okay, we're taking care of other parents, but who is going to take care of us? You know, it also reached that kind of a point. So really, wow, na-distract ako.
Wow.
I think that would be my prime. Wala na, hindi na ako ever bumalik sa ganyan. One of these days. But basically there, I think it's because you really need to surround yourself with people that speak the same language and share the same kind of vision. And again, no, it wasn't easy because we have been in existence near 5 years now, and we've had a lot of, I would say, misfits. But now I would say it's really, really great with our team.
And you guys have grown so fast. I think I've known you now almost for 6 years, 5 years, when Leah first came to Busa. And seeing Parenting Emporium then till now, it's just blossomed into such a nice company. And, it always boils down to the management or the leaders of that company. And that's why your team is the way they are, because, it's a domino effect. You guys are I see it. I totally see it. Your team, sometimes I'm like, oh, am I speaking to Beng or Marcel? You guys act the same. You cater to everyone the same. And it's such a nice feeling. And that's why I said, I feel like I'm at home when I'm there, because it's not the aggressive salespeople. It's like, hi mom, how are you? It's like generally asking how I am. And then, when I need something, that's when they'll approach me. But then they know detailed information about your products. They can recommend certain things and what I would need. And I see it also when I analyze them speaking to other customers or other TPE community members, and even your events. I mean, I know you said you built a community. So what was the inspiration for having your almost, I think it was like every other week you had an event at Parenting Emporium?
The needs of the parents. So for example, there would be set events, but then somebody will suddenly approach us and say, I really need help with this topic or whatever. And then, so suddenly something new will, blossom. And how can we help you? Will this help? Or how about we do this, etc. It's really the community, and when they approach us with a concern. So we have fundraisers when fundraisers are needed. We have classes if classes are needed. Support groups. Our support groups have blossomed, which is fantastic. Before it was just a breastfeeding support group, but now we have one for single parents, one for grieving parents. We have for twins. We have for special needs. So really, it depends on, and I would say that's how we grow. A while ago, you mentioned about how it excites you when you see new things, or you just need a refresher, which is true because honestly, even approaching parenthood, like what kind of a parent do I want to be? There are so many new insights, and I think it's because the world is changing, and so parenting before has to be updated, and even with my own type of parenting, my eldest had a more helicopter hovering mom, and my youngest is sort of like lucky he has a relaxed mom, and I see the benefits in that kind of parenting. But really, I think it has been around these approaches, but maybe here to the Philippines, it just has not been disseminated or shared. So we love it when we take a part in educating the parents about respectful parenting, relaxed parenting, how before, like for example, how you'd be in a group situation, and then the kids are learning, and then you're really up with your child and moving their hands and telling them what to do, and you're constantly in their ear. And then now I'm learning, so technically they can actually learn better if you just take a step back, let them do their thing, and there's a whole science behind that and all these things. So and again, this what you call it, this situation that we're in right now, We're going to be launching a learning series, which will equip parents how, because a lot of parents are panicking. Their children are now home,
Right.
which is actually a good thing. But I understand also the panic because they're not used to being with their children 24/7, and they would rely on, let's say, I'll drop them off at this place, they'll learn this and
Right.
that. But now it's all on me, so it's nakaka-panic for those that are not used to it. So stuff like that, it really is a dynamic, it's a organic growing kind of situation. So that's the inspiration. The community members are needs that keep on evolving.
Yeah. And what I like also is how you support familypreneurs. A lot of your products that are in Parenting Emporium are parents, are, ones that grew their businesses because they wanted to, of course, spend more time with their families. And you became the platform of showcasing their products. Because I love attending product launches with you, because not only is it exciting to meet new mompreneurs, dadpreneurs, but just the network itself. It's like the support group. So what is it that you look for in products that will be TPE approved? Because I love that hashtag.
Oh my gosh, my favorite topic. I just posted about this new product. We're so tickled and delighted every time a brand asks us, especially those, we have those that import it, it's already there. But we also have those brands that manufacture products. And there are also those that go to conventions, and when they're seeking out brands, they actually call us long distance, or not call, Viber, or send a message and ask, what do you think? This, do you think I should carry this? Because do you think it's going to move and stuff like this? And we love it. We love it because, it's like we feel like you can't do that to a million people, not a million, that's too hundreds of people. But we feel like we're the repository of a lot of parents' aspirations, wishes, desires, and requirements. And then through those means, we are able to share with them, yes, bring them in. People are asking for that, or not or whatever. But our number one, and this is why we're tickled when the manufacturers, those that manufacture, actually ask us. Our number one is really the safety of ingredients.
Right.
And we all know that a lot of shortcuts are done, and people are not sometimes so strict because of cost, and maybe possibly they don't want to, invest further in research or whatever. But then just recently I posted about somebody again, and I was so, what do I say? It really thrilled, that they would listen and care. Because you think the others become so defensive, and then they say, why, can we just ask what ingredient it is? Because we will let you know. We're so sorry. It looks like it has promise. However, there's this ingredient which is a carcinogen, or there's an ingredient which is an allergen, or whatever, and we can't possibly in our hearts use it on our own children. Therefore, we would also not recommend it to others. So then they'll ask us, can we know exactly which ingredient? And then I would tell them the ingredient, I'll tell the resources and everything. And some of them would go, no, but blah, 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 blah. They would defend it. Which I understand too, if they believe in that. But then there are those who would go, okay, so you think that there's a blah, 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 we can, use a substitute. And I would, we would also share, you know what, why don't you look into this, these are all safe substitutes, another brand did this, blah, blah, blah. And then, do you know there's actually one brand that 3 years in the making, because she would always give us the list of ingredients, and then we would find something wrong, and then it will go back to her, and then she reformulate based on what you would say. And then the other brand, this one, the one that I just posted actually a while ago, also same situation. She was asking for our help, and then we said, I'm sorry, I can't possibly give you, because this ingredient's bad. And then they reformulated. So number one for us always is, and here's the punchline to it actually.
Yes.
We're so thankful. They said, Maricel, if you weren't hard on us, we would have released this substandard product. But you were so hard on us with the ingredients being all safe, and you pushed us. Yes. You pushed us to make it all safe, and they were so thankful. So it's like, if you want an ingredient, Nancy, I will always volunteer. Just come to me with your ingredients. But number one, safety. So definitely people can count on that we would never recommend something which has even what you call it, like, let's say, even if it has the slightest evidence that it is carcinogenic or something like that, it would not be on our shelves. Number two, of course, would be it has to work. So it's safe, but it doesn't work. What's the use, right? So it has to work. So quality should be effective. And then number three, it would be really great if it's versatile. Some products can't be versatile, but if a product can be versatile, fantastic, because then you can lengthen the life of that product, and your investment in that product will also be super solid, worth it. And then, of course, aesthetics. I mean, I wouldn't put it number one because it really depends on what kind of product it is. But if it's really nice, the design is sleek and cute, functional, whatever, depending on what it is, then that's also a plus. And then lastly, it should be worth. I don't like saying that, we go for affordable, we go for premium, we go for cheap. No, I will not name a price because it really depends. There are things which I would say I would pay a premium for because it works, it will save lives. It will save a trip to the hospital. I would pay a premium for that. So for me, I don't say a specific kind of price, but I say it has to be worth my hard-earned money there. So those are our requirements for it to be TP approved. It's kind of strict, like when you would compare it to, I mean, we get some pressure sometimes because brands would approach us and say, we're in this store, blah, blah, blah. It's selling really well. And we're familiar because people would ask us. They'd say, do you have this in this brand? Because this store has it. But we will just explain why. I'm sorry, but we did study the product and we can't recommend it. And so but in a way also some brands feel the pressure because some people also ask, why aren't you in TPE? Because those are familiar with our criteria. Now they're suspicious. Why aren't you in TPE? Is it because there's something wrong with the product? So, it kind of also helps raise awareness that, as parents, let's not compromise as well. And let's actually be familiar with what we're buying. Kasi sayang eh. I mean, you wouldn't give your child something that would harm, even in the long run. Sabi sa favorite topic, I can go on and on about this. This
I love it.
Corona thing, we were so saddened because, the things that supposedly kill the virus, these are things which we would always say, don't put too much of because it will dry your skin, might cause contact dermatitis. The other products will cause long-lasting harmful effects, blah, blah, blah. But, and, people easily made money off of these products, which supposedly killed germs, but we couldn't really bring ourselves to sell them because we knew as well, the harmful effects, and people would just tell us, Maricel will just choose, the lesser of two evils. But that's why I'm so happy when people approach us with safe alternatives. Then we really shout on the rooftops and tell people, guys, just use this to sterilize, just use this to disinfect because this does not have any harmful effects, and it will really save money as well in the future. I mean, like, there are a lot, I don't want to name products, but there are a lot of products which you will consume. You don't feel like it's expensive, but you keep on buying it when it's consumed. So in the long run, if you add it all up, then it will also amount certain value. And then after that, the fact that it may harm your health. So yun yung mga things that really get us excited about.
And guys, you can always reach out to the Parenting Emporium Instagram. They're very welcoming. You will always get a response straight away. So if there's any advice or any products that you're looking for that you may need right now, especially for your home, for your children, you can ask the Parenting Emporium on Instagram, which is here, I think, in the banner going across. But I'll make sure I'll put it also in the caption so that you can reach out to them anytime. This might be a hard question for you, and it seems like someone's asking from my team. What is your favorite product you sell in the Parenting Emporium? Can you name? I knew it. Guys.
Give a beauty queen answer.
That's all right. I know all of them because I see you promoting all of them. You know, that's one thing that I love about Maricel is that there's equal in her love for her products. And that's the reason why there is a strict process to have these products be part of the Parenting Emporium. I also know that you and Beng have beautiful hearts giving back. Can you share on your advocacies?
Okay, so we have a lot of beneficiaries. So from individuals to like institutions. One of them is we also help them during this time, and we raise money through a class. It's called Gentle Hands. Gentle Hands actually is headed by a foreign missionary, and she actually takes in abandoned children, abused, orphaned, and every time I visit their page, really, I'm led to tears. I'm led to tears with the cases that she would describe and the love that she gives to these strangers who are not even of her own nationality. So she takes care of Filipino children. And right now, they are in their quarantine, 100 plus children with her. And we visited their facilities, and they really take care of them, from feeding them to providing counseling to they even have, I forget what it's called, but they have a room which brings me to tears every time I think about it, but where they bring in children that they cannot save medically, but they just make sure that their remaining days on earth are okay and pain-free and they feel loved. So that's one of our advocacies. And then we also help with Philippine National School for the Blind when we can, which is your advocacy as well. And you introduced that to us.
Yes, thank you for always supporting.
Which you guys are doing such amazing work with the Philippine National School for the Blind. I'm amazed with the graduates that they turn out as well. And the work that they get to do, how productive they become in society, more productive than completely enabled people are sometimes, in fact. The passion with which drives them to be who they are and to accomplish what they have accomplished. Then we have the individual cases. So we have those that don't make it, but we still, of course, we help the family even after those with biliary atresia, those that are born prematurely. And, a lot of people think that only the financially challenged need help when it comes to long hospital stays. But really, if you're part of the working class, middle class, a very prolonged hospital stay reaches millions and millions in cost. And so these people also don't know where to go sometimes for help with funding. Then during this situation, we were approached by like a quarantine facility. So it really depends on the needs. A quarantine facility which needed help setting up a nursery for their littlest guests that had COVID or their mom had COVID. And then parents with special needs who called to buy the special seizure meds, milk and stuff. Then we also have those that we help, like Asha. Asha is 20 already, I think, years old now, and we've been helping her since she was 17 or 16, I believe. She has chronic conditions, yet she remains very positive, cheerful, and the little sometimes that she has donates. So she's such an inspiration because, a lot of us have so much more. But when it comes to donation, you just give of the excess. But
Right.
she, who has so little, gives
Mm-hmm.
of what little she has. So,
Wow.
like Make a Wish, I don't know if people have heard of that foundation, but
Mm-hmm.
they grant wishes for those that have chronic illnesses or fatal illnesses. We were
Yeah.
supposed to grant a wish because that's also one of our advocacies for this child who actually wanted to um, become a DJ. So, like one of
Oh.
our wish, she actually was going to bring him into the booth and stuff, but then the whole COVID situation sort of happened.
Mm-hmm.
But going back to Asha, she actually also grants wishes. You know, there's sometimes simple wishes like they want a doll or they want a
Right.
toy computer or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
So Asha, we actually sell her products, which are uh, whimsical jewelry, like
Mm-hmm.
Lala Loopsies, and these are all authentic. By the way, we're not running into license issues because they are
Mm-hmm.
provided by an ambassador from the US, a brand ambassador
Mm-hmm.
of these characters from the
Mm-hmm.
US. But
Mm-hmm.
now, since people are not buying those things, they're more into the essentials.
Mm-hmm.
We are helping out as well. Her mom is helping sell some of RTP approved brands, and then we give her margins for that, so that she just has some sort of income as well
Mm-hmm.
during this period. So these are just some of the people that we help, and not only we, by the way, because the money that we get to
Mm-hmm.
actually help these people, they come from your purchases. You've had
Right.
purchase from us,
Mm-hmm.
right? Because
Yes.
we're set up as a social enterprise.
Mm-hmm.
Before, when we were another company, we were advised that
Mm-hmm.
the concept of a social enterprise is that the percentage that goes to helping others
Mm-hmm.
is already inputted into your costs of business, so
Mm-hmm.
that, or your margin, so that it's a sustainable thing. Because if you keep on doing it out of your pocket,
Uh-huh.
then it's not going to be sustainable. So
Mm-hmm.
we already set the Parenting Emporium up that way, so that everybody who buys gets to help unconsciously. But it's nice to share this with them, because then
Yes.
they know, a portion as well of
Mm-hmm.
their hard-earned money is going to helping another person. So,
Right.
one other thing we were able to do was hook people up during the
Mm-hmm.
quarantine who needed milk, because we are a milk sharing hub.
Yes.
But then, since we closed PPE for the because of the situation, a lot of
Mm-hmm.
people were then at a loss. Where do we now get safe milk? Because that's what we advocate. It's one thing to share your milk, but then we make sure that we follow guidelines in screening the donors, make sure
Mm-hmm.
that the milk is safe, etc., etc. So we have done that. We've been hooking people up, recipients and donors,
Uh-huh.
while we have not yet opened our doors at PPE
Mm-hmm.
physically. But we never stop. We love it when people, the frontliners as well. We love it
Mm-hmm.
when, they send us a message and they go, we don't know who else to talk to or to
Mm-hmm.
approach. And then we're like, it gives us this thrilling feeling again na,
Mm-hmm.
shucks, family, we're all connected.
Right.
And we're glad that you feel comfortable enough
Mm-hmm.
to approach us with your concerns. So
Mm-hmm.
everybody's been such a blessing in this regard.
So with
Whether it's
that,
just
now that you've shared that everybody who purchases from the Parenting Emporium is actually helping your advocacies or even helping the frontliners that you are supporting, how can we purchase goods since we cannot visit the Parenting Emporium right now? Are you online now? Are you sharing maybe a list on your social media?
Okay, so this is the cute fun thing that we all decided to do because
Mm-hmm.
we only used to have one customer service hotline, but then
Mm-hmm.
since our had phones, so this is part of what I was telling you a while ago about how we're so proud of all of our team members, because a lot of them are working from home now. All those that had company phones are now everybody's personal shopper. And it was really a
Right.
challenge for us to figure out how to do this, because we
Mm-hmm.
wanted people to really still feel the warmth and the concern
Yes.
and the sincerity of our assistants.
Mm-hmm.
So every one of them are not necessarily salespeople, but are just in our team,
Mm-hmm.
and you would never be able to tell the difference, because
Mm-hmm.
we would always hear feedback from people saying, Thank you so much for helping me. It was really, I really felt the warmth. One said, it was like I was physically in TPE
Right.
because it's not a website what we have. We basically just release the numbers of the personal shoppers, and if you have Viber, if you have SMS, or you can also do it through email. You can contact us or through our social media accounts, because what we like doing, and which a lot of people have been appreciating, is really, you know how it is when it's a website. That's it. You choose. If it's not there, it's not there. But
Right.
we're so happy we were able to figure out a way, because when we put them in touch with somebody live that they can actually have back and forth exchanges and interactions with, then
Yes.
they can still get the benefit of recommendations, alternatives, substitutes, um, us finding out what exactly they need so we could recommend
Right.
something more appropriate. Because although we are setting up a website, but it's just that we feel that it's not the TPE way,
Right.
that you just screen a screen or whatever. And a lot of people do appreciate the back and forth, because there are a lot of questions. Like, somebody would say something as simple as, okay, I have a 2-year-old to give a gift to, a 2-year-old boy. Any suggestions? And if you're faced with like a website or whatever, how can you go back and forth about
Yes.
interest, or
Exactly.
all of the little nuisance, the little details that would help you give a very good recommendation. So if they follow us on Instagram at the Parenting Emporium, or on Facebook, again, the Parenting Emporium page. We also do have a website, theparentingemporium.com. They will find the numbers there, or the contact information there, and how they could reach a person in our team to
Right.
help them out with their needs. They can order through Viber, they can order through SMS, they can order through email, they can order through social media accounts. So any which way you would like to contact us, just say hi. Sometimes people just say hi. That's it.
Yeah.
And then we'll be the one, hi, how can I help you?
Right.
So that kind, and we really enjoy this kind of interaction.
Yeah.
We're holding that back a bit on the website, because we feel like it will also take away a bit of the um, customization or the warmth of everything. So for now, what we do is we do the personal shopping, the exchanges. But if you do want a list of everything that we have,
Yeah.
do send us a direct message through Instagram. We send a link. All of our products are there with the prices, pictures, so the different designs and stuff. So that's how you can reach us.
Perfect, Marcel. Like I said, guys, reach out to Marcel if you have any parenting needs, or of someone, your friend, your family members who are about to give birth to a beautiful blessing, and they don't know what to get. You can contact the Parenting Emporium, and they can refer such beautiful gifts that your loved one will love. Before we end, Marcel, can you please share with everyone your words of wisdom to everyone, most especially at this time?
There are a lot of things which are not within our control, but how we think about them, or our mindset, is within our control. This is a lesson that I personally learned throughout this quarantine. Initially, I was also, how do I say, crippled by the fact that it seemed like not a lot was within my control. I was no longer the mistress of my destiny. But things got better when I realized that there are so many things that are still in my control. And a lot of people have been pivoting. I love that word, by the way. I keep on hearing about pivoting, and I like it because pivot actually talks about having what do we call this? What is the term for pivot? They have this piece, and basically you just adjust from that center. there. So that's why I like the term pivot, because it talks about having that essential piece, and pivoting is just adjusting or moving a bit. And a lot of people have been doing that, and I encourage a lot of people to, or those that are still stuck right now in everything's just horrible and terrible. But I encourage a lot of people to consider how to still grab control of their destiny, because you still can. And
Yes.
it's not only you, we're not alone in this, we're all uh, in this together. So
Right.
support each other, try not to
Exactly.
delve into negativity,
Mm-hmm.
and always spread positive vibes and good energy.
Exactly. And you know what? I have to tell you there, Maricel is a basketball mom now, because pivoting is also a positive word in the basketball. Nick will be proud of you. But anyways, guys, I hope you learned a lot from Maricel, because not only is she an empowered woman, she's an empowered mom, and she's a mother to a lot of mommies and daddies. So with that, guys, take action like Maricel. And of course, you know, that's why I appreciate her, and I'm glad that she joined me this afternoon. And with that, actions speak louder than words. And thank you guys for tuning in another episode of In Love With Me. Thank you.
Thank you for watching In Love With Me series.
Maricel.